Um, Good day, everyone. I just want us to do a little, what I call it, a back testing, or more of like have a review of the Euro USD trade. I'll just discuss on the Euro USD move, what has really been happening in the Euro USD, and we'll check how I made some analyses and how I was looking at the analysis to play out, and a lot of other things like that. Let me first show us the images of some of the things I did on EU. First, on EU, I was looking for a bearish move, a fall, to sell off the EU, which is this actually first. I was looking at it coming back to this zone. If it doesn't come back to this zone, then it should respect the zone and fall off. The price came in, tapped into this zone, and then it sold off. I think the previous day, so this is it. Sorry, I had to change my background and settings. So this was what happened. It sold off from this zone. It sold off. EU has been bearish based on sentiments that we also observed. Looking at the Euro index and the DXY. So I looked into the sentiment of this to determine the possible outlook, or will I say the lookout for the EU. So then, aside this, I think so we had this analysis done, still looking at having a bearish move for the Euro USD. You can see from here I saw a hidden base, what Mansuri Sapari would call the double marabuzu. So this was it. So I was expecting price to come to this point, then fall off a little, then go back to this zone and fall off. Because when I considered this double marabuzo, I also looked at this week, which created on a lower time frame more of a structural point, retracement. So I considered it more like an inducement. But the price came to this place, respected this place, and then it massively fell off from this zone without reaching this zone. Let's go forward. So this is it. This was, you can see what I said. I considered it as a little pullback, but I saw it more of like an inducement. But when you check the daily time frame, you'll find the double marabuzu, what others would call the hidden base, what others would call the king OB. So, and then if you look at price respected, came here and then dropped. Price respected this IPA, imbalance price action. The moment this price action was filled, this fair value gap, you can see that this fair value gap, this particular zone, this sponsorship zone, institutional level, is in relation to this fair value gap that was filled. So that is why I think price respected this place, because of institutional level, without reaching this zone, price respected this zone and then dropped off massively. So let me go forward now so that I would see the action that took place in price. Now you can see it. You can see it from here. So you see, price took out all this liquidity pool, all this liquidity with this move. As I've earlier said that, okay, we had this fair value gap being filled, and then this zone that took out all these liquidities in relation to the fair value gap that was filled. So it's more of like a very strong institutional level or zone. So you see price came from the Wyckoff schematic here, which I won't really go deeper into explaining. And then it came retested, and then you see the fall off. You see, price didn't really get to the zone. So I was also looking at the zone, but for analysis sake and for more of like sharing it as a signal, I was okay, let's look at price from here. But I was considering also the zone of a likely sell-off from this zone, and then it happened from that zone. If you can see from the diagram, you see the D1, the daily supply hidden base, which is also within it, is also the 4-hour supply. So that was what happened to EU. We can see it here. So we caught some of this we caught the buy trade, and the buy, when a little of those buys that were happening here from the M15 time frame, you can see I saw a mitigation block on M15 fair value gap, price came to it, sold, and sorry, yeah, bought to the upside, and then came to the zone, and then we had our what sell off. So you see, this is the analysis. So I also would want to, like, okay, let's just have a recap of EU and what possibly we should be anticipating next in EU. So that is the purpose to this video. I would like to share knowledge I have, to just do a little free mentorship on YouTube, but it would be with the focus of having this group reach 500 to 1,000 subscribers. Then I would start the free mentorship. So if you would really be getting a lot of resourceful information from the trade setups I'll be sharing here, you can do well to get people to subscribe, and then we'll start a free mentorship on this channel. So let's get back to the charts. Let me show you guys some things. So this is actually from the monthly time frame. The EU trade. We had a lot of I did a lot of study on the sentiment, the market sentiment, considering the DXY and considering the Euro index, and considering the commercials and then the non-commercials, to determine some of the sentiment and determine the probable move that the Euro USD is to make. But before we get to that, let me just go back to, let's stick to the chart and explain some things here. Now you can see from the chart we have a rally, a base, and then a rally. So this actually is a demand zone, which is a base zone that I marked out, anticipating price to sell off to this demand zone. I consider this as a liquidity pool because of this. There was a little selling to buy here, so it created more of like an inducement. When you go to a lower time frame, you can see it possibly from a little structure point or sponsorship level. So I considered it relative to this low as a liquidity pool that price should come down and wipe it off, grab all the liquidity. So from this zone, we'll be considering if price should have a good balance in this monthly demand zone, then we should be looking at a possible little bullish move to the upside, either a bullish move to the upside and then it drops down, or it respects this place and make a bullish move to fill up some of this imbalance price action, or it falls back downward. So we can see we had a liquidity pool in the zone. Price came, grabbed all this trend line liquidity, what we call the trend line phantom, and then price grabbed it. Now this zone here, it's a monthly supply zone, because it is from this zone that all this liquidity were grabbed. This is the candle that sponsored the move here. You see, I marked this week. It is actually in relative to this other week. Are we getting it? Which I told you what this guy Mansuri Sapari will call the double marabuzu. So it took out all this liquidity, took out this liquidity also, and then price came back to that level, and then it respected it with this move to the downside. So let me go to the daily time frame. Okay, let's go back to the weekly time frame. Okay, in respect to these images, I actually showed us this one. That is what I would now talk about. So let me go to the daily time frame. Yeah. So we can see from the daily time frame, this aqua zone here, this aqua rectangle, from when you switch to the higher time frame, the monthly, it's actually your monthly demand zone. Are we getting it? So this was what happened. I looked at this place as a liquidity pool, all the zones, all these demand levels. So first we saw this King Obi, that is the double Marabuzu, in relative to this level that was wiped, that was taken away, that was taken off, that was the liquidity here was grabbed by a candle here. So when you drop to the lower time frame, like the 4-hour time frame, you're likely to see an order block here. So price came into the zone, dropped down. This is where I say we had an H4 fair value gap then before price came and then fill it up. So this level came down. So because now price was making this move, I saw this demand zone from the monthly time frame. So our view was that okay, price would come, price grabbed all this liquidity here, broke this structure points here. So I was anticipating that okay, the price should pull back, come into the zone and then sell off to this demand, the monthly demand. And that was what happened. But if you look at from my chart, I was conservative, very, very conservative. I wasn't looking at, okay, taking this profit straight to this demand zone. No. I was just like, okay, let me keep this profit at this low. Okay, it will just wipe up this low and I'm done. Take the profit out of the market. But the overall view I was looking at price was price to drop to this monthly demand zone. So we see price came retraced to the daily supply hiding base, which it's called the double Marabuzu, and then you can see the words price fell off. So when I came to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that in confluence to the daily hiding base, we had the words OB here, the H4 OB. We're having the H4 OB here that grabbed all this liquidity, swept the structure points. Are we getting it? So price came back, didn't really fully retest it. So I marked the zone, but I was looking at the zone to sell it from the zone, but I was having the zone in view because this zone took out these liquidities, but I was considering it as also an inducement, a liquidity pool level that price may likely just come, react to it, and then go back up to this place and sell it from this place. But it happened that price now came, and then this level held price. You can see it held price. We had a little range here forming the Wyckoff schematic and accumulation. We had manipulation that took out this. We had manipulation that took out this relatively high levels, took it out with a week, and then we had the distribution to the downside. So that was what we were looking at in trading the EU. So but with a long view for it to drop to the monthly time frame, but I stopped price at this. Okay, it should come, take out liquidity here, and then boom, I'm done, take my profit, and then left the market. So that was what we actually looked at in the EU. I think having a Telegram channel where these stuffs were shared. So that was what happened. And then when you look at now what we should be anticipating in EU, looking at it from the monthly, looking at price already reacting here in the monthly demand zone of this, we have this base rally. So it is believed that, based on some courses I've learned from and a lot of other things I've watched, when we have things like this, I'm looking for a tool to use to explain something. Okay, so when we have this, a rally, we have a rally. I'm sorry, please. Oh my God. So when we have a rally, we have a base, a rally. So we are expecting price to come and react to this base point and possibly continue a move to the what upside. Are we together? So that was what that is actually what we are anticipating here. Sorry, the rally base, the rally. So price should come here, and then we would find price, possibly price selling, buying from the monthly zone, demand zone, buying to this zone here, buying to this zone here, because now this zone here took out this level, this liquidity level, but in relative to this one, you are having also a drop, a base, and then a drop. So we would be anticipating price to give us something from this demand zone, something like this, possibly, and then price possibly dropping to the downside. Or we can find price do something like this, come here, retest this base point of the drop, base drop, possibly then create something again like this, then possibly we have it coming to this zone, and then possibly coming down. So all these are the probability we are anticipating in the Euro USD pair. But as I also stated earlier, that we have some imbalanced price action here. Price can come and react to this base point, the drop, react to this base point, the drop, base, drop, react to this base point, come like this, possibly do again something like this, do something like this, come possibly to this zone to fill up this it can possibly not happen now, and then drop to the downside. It's all we are looking at. So it's not really like I'm giving a signal right now. I'm just trying for us to just share a knowledge on what we actually look into in trading the forex market. So this video is just meant to just show us the view of all this that have been taken into consideration. So this anticipated buy we are looking at in EU is in relative to the market sentiment that have been carried out for the DXY and the Euro index. The DXY has been bullish, and then right now forming a rejection candle to sell off, and then the Euro index too, the same thing goes to the Euro index. And then the market sentiment when carried out, I won't really expose this knowledge here. I just want to just make this video short. So the market sentiment that was carried out for EU, for the Euro, not for the EU, for the Euro index is actually the Euro index is actually on the net short. So the commercials are on net short. So we will be looking at a bullish move. And then for the USD also, the commercials are on the net short. So we'll be looking at a bullish move also. And you can see price already in the monthly demand zone. So it can form a little, it can accumulate here before making that move. So that's all. So God bless.